Let me tell you what makes this so very, very interesting and different in terms of this Trump conviction and how his supporters are reacting. Now, this is the same man. I'm going to remind you, this is the same man who said people were coming from S countries and they were this and that and nothing because they may or may not have been felons or considered to be felons. This is the same man who has gone out of his way to actively accuse innocent people who were proven innocent, by the way, unlike him, of crimes because he knew the gravity of being deemed a felon. You cannot vote. Everything is on restrictions. You're talking about a man who cannot travel to go to countries where he would need to discuss governmental matters were he elected to president. And this is the person that everybody that's still supporting him wants to be president. Make that make sense. He cannot even travel or get a security clearance, but you want him to be president. It's a personality trait at this point. Y'all are so dug in with this man and the idea you're either racism or internalized racism that you cannot let him go. But it's really the ideas that he represents, the ideologies that he represents that you can't let go. Because if you actually sat for a minute and thought about it, you would have already been on the side of felons and how it may be deemed unfair for everything that they go through. But now that it's your guy, that's fine. Everything's fine. Meanwhile, you have people who have been rehabilitated, gone to prison, gone to jail, been rehabilitated, and they're just trying to come back and live good lives. They have to put that they're a felon on job applications, on housing applications, on everything. They are looked at as less than, which is why there's such a drive for so many black and brown people to be felons in the eyes of this nation. That's why there's so much systemic racism and everything else pertaining to black and brown people, because it's a negative to be a felon. But y'all already know this, or do you? Your cognitive dissonance is so loud pertaining to this that it's become laughable. So you went from being the party of law and order, the party of we support the judicial system no matter, the party of we support our cops, the party of we support the government, to I'ma stick beside him. I saw a girl's video, I'ma stick beside him. You went from that to I'ma stick beside him. You went from that to crying, literally crying, when this man was convicted. Let me tell you something. If you cry because someone is convicted, a politician, mind you, because he constantly says, I'm not a politician, but went into politics and was always involved in politics, mind you. If you cry when that happens, when a person is found guilty, you're in too deep. You're in too deep. You don't know this person. This is not your family member. This is not even a person who has had a reputable, good standing business. He has failed certifiably at every single thing he has ever done in his life. Everything that orange person has touched has plummeted, literally. And you could say this and say that about Dark Brandon and all of this and all of that. It didn't plummet. He has a long-standing career. Did not plummet. Did not plummet. Long-standing marriage and everything. Then, which brings me to my next point. That orange person actually went against his own marriage with this. This guilty verdict showed, and all the evidence, it's provable. All the evidence showed that he actually is the most unlike Christ ever. Ever. And y'all still sticking beside him. This is the party of Christian values. This is the party of family values. And that's all it is. I'm putting it in quotes because every single solitary day, y'all prove that that's not what you really represent. That's not what you're really about. Just by this alone, we can see that this is not what you're really about. The hypocrisy. This man cheated on his wife while she was with child. That is disgusting. Not once did he cheat. Not twice. But we're going to stick with twice because that's what's proven. Proven. He covered it up. He cooked in order to make it not be noticeable, which dug him in even deeper. And y'all are still defending this person. And is it because that you're just like him? Is it because you don't want to be held accountable for your actions and the things that you've done? Or you don't want to see somebody that looks like him that can be guilty? I mean, really. I have people in my comment section saying, well, now he can relate to your family members. You mean my highly educated family that's all college grads? He can't relate to us, including me. Can't relate to us. But look at the profiling. And look at the still riding with this man. But now he can relate. That's so funny because out of all the things to say, didn't take away that guilty verdict, did he? Let's say my family was all felons. It still wouldn't take it away that he is one too. He is a felon. And I had a lot of people in my comment section saying how it was a misdemeanor, and it's a felony. And it's a felony because he went out of his way to cover it up to boot. Ask yourself why you are trying to feign naivete and ignorance, and it's so laughable. Ask yourself why you are holding on to this one person so much. Even the politicians are trying to hold on to this one person so hard. And it's not good for him, by the way. Because the more he says and does before his sentencing, and he does not show contrition, that's not going to weigh positively with the judge. Everything he's doing is being monitored. It's being looked at from this point on for the rest of his life because he's a felon. Felon. All those people that he blamed and said they're this, they're that, that's him now. Oh, and he has no reason to appeal. So, and have you seen the appeal courts? Better yet, have you seen his probation officer? This is about to get much more entertaining. And this is for entertainment purposes only.